What's up, guys? We're the Late Night Ballers. I'm here with Nick and Connor, and on this episode we're going to be talking about the summer league and how everything has fared, how the players we've done, but main thing we're going to be talking about is how our predictions went from the previous videos and how the players are going to do in the actual NBA and not playing against a whole bunch of rookies and bench warmers. So, Nick, how was your prediction from the previous video?
From what I saw, I was really confident that my predictions with. Harkening back to an earlier video, specifically the NBA draft talk one, I mentioned Dennis Smith Jr. and Caleb Swanigan being two players that I saw as potential sleepers and great players who could contribute right away. I saw that from both guys. Dennis Smith Jr. was absolutely amazing.
He's a freak.
He was just going insane. I mean, did you see that dunk he had against I think it was the Lakers or the Trailblazers or something like that, where he was off two when they came down,
and then the one he missed and
he about obliterated somebody's life. It was terrible. He's been absolutely phenomenal though. He reminds me of like a Derrick Rose, Russell Westbrook type player. We're just an extreme athlete that opens up a lot of things for him on the floor. Scoring, I think he was averaging 17 points a game, 4 rebounds, and 4 assists. Looked absolutely amazing. Also, the other player I liked, Caleb Swanigan, who I thought could be another potential sleeper in the draft, when he was actually really good as well. He averaged a double-double, which not many players have done in the summer league. Everybody likes to talk about, oh, it's summer league, we can't really take a lot from them. The players who can play in this league and have proven that, guys like Kevin Love, Taj Gibson, they mentioned some other players. These guys averaged double-doubles in the summer league, and they're perennial all-stars like Kevin Love, and then like some really solid contributors like Taj Gibson, who's now with the Timberwolves. I really liked what I saw out of both those players.
I liked watching it, even though I didn't really watch it on the NBA TV. Kind of Twitter followed it, but I mean, I agree. Caleb Swanigan's kind of a freak. Definitely my kind of basketball. So Connor, how did your picks go?
Well, my two picks were Malik Monk for the Hornets and Harry Giles for the Kings. And neither of them played in the summer league. Harry Giles, I think, because of injury, and I think Malik Monk was also because of injury. For that Hornets team, that Hornets team was only really led by Dwayne Bacon, who did have one really good game. But of my predictions, they weren't busts, but we can't really say how they did. I still think they will do good in the actual NBA. They just didn't get to prove themselves in this summer league. On to our next topic. They announced the All-Summer League first and second teams, plus the MVP for the whole league, and the MVP for that game. The All-Summer League first team was Lonzo Ball for the Lakers, John Collins for the Hawks, Josh Jackson for the Suns, Dennis Smith Jr. for the Mavs, and Caleb Swanigan for the Trailblazers. How do you think about this first team? Was it a good first team?
Yeah, I liked the first team choices. I watched a lot of Lonzo Ball just because he was always on the big channels like ESPN. I thought he definitely deserved to be up there. I mean, he played absolutely great. I mean, his first 2 games weren't crazy. He did average a triple-double in his second game, but really you could tell he was getting more used to playing with the guys. He was playing with guys like Kyle Kuzma. He got really good chemistry with guys like them. Some of the passes he made were just absolutely phenomenal. The way he can see the floor is really impressive. He also got to the rim pretty easily. I don't know if all those drives he had will translate against some of the bigger, stronger point guards in the league, but he definitely proved that he could get to the basket. His shooting improved as the summer league went along. Really like seeing Lonzo Ball play. I do like all the other ones. I was surprised Jason Tatum didn't make it first team over Josh Jackson. Maybe because they averaged around the same amount of points, and I think Josh Jackson averaged a little bit more rebounds, but I was a little bit surprised to see that because Jason Tatum definitely impressed me.
Jason Tatum is a freak on the court. I mean, I didn't think he was going to do great, but he kind of took me by surprise. And as a Heat fan, I mean, I know we were talking about this earlier in the day, but Bam Adebayo is absolutely just tearing it up. I know we were talking about how he moves the floor like a point guard and everything, but I mean, he wasn't even on second team, was he? So I was kind of questioning that because he averaged what did he average? 14?
I want to say it was like 8, almost a double-double. I want to say 18 and 8, 18 and 9.
Right. I mean, he had some good games. He had a few 27 point games. So I mean, like, he's not bad by any means, but I think he should have at least gotten like like a favorite plate award for being like a participation award or something. But you know, that's just me being biased. But I mean, other than that, I like the. I mean, I think that Lonzo definitely should have gotten MVP just because he isn't. We found out that he's not all tall. He can definitely ball, no pun intended.
Not all his dads talk anyway.
Yeah.
He doesn't really talk that much.
He's a nice guy. He's kind of
Yeah, he seems cool.
I appreciate that. So like since summer league's now over, how do you think that the big talents are actually gonna fare in the NBA with all the big dogs?
I think we're definitely going to see certain players fall off. I don't see Wayne Selden Jr. or Kyle Kuzma, guys who made the All-Summer League second team, or even Brian Forbes, who had a phenomenal Summer League. I know, Connor, you really like the way Brian Forbes play. I didn't get to see too much of him. He did have some breakout games. It's guys like that, Kuzma, Wayne Selden, Brian Forbes, who I could see making an impact on a team, but definitely not like one they made on the Summer League team. I think guys, however, like Lonzo Ball, Josh Jackson, Dennis Smith, guys like that who are kind of in positions on the team where they're big needs and they're going to be asked to fill big shoes. I think guys like that are going to make immediate impacts. But maybe some of these other guys probably won't.
Yeah, I think one person who made the All-Summer League first team, John Collins, I think we won't hear much from him this year in the NBA. It doesn't mean later in his career we won't hear from him, but he did average 15.5 points and 9 rebounds roughly, and he made that all-first team. He's very athletic. He had a few highlight dunks during the Summer League. But I think once he goes to the NBA season, we won't be hearing much from him. He'll barely get any playing time with the Hawks. They are kind of short when it comes to depth now that they've lost Paul Millsap. They lost Al Horford last year.
Dwight Howard.
Yeah, they lost Dwight Howard and gained basically nothing for it. So he may be getting some playing time in the garbage times of the games, but I don't think in times that it really matters that he will be able to show what he can do. But definitely later in his career, we may find out how good he is. On to second-year players that we thought did pretty good in this year's Summer League and can go on this year to maybe make some damage with their team that they're on. All right, Nick, so who do you think are some good second-year players that will go on?
Big one for me has to be Brandon Ingram. We didn't see much from him. He only played one game, unfortunately. He had that big leg cramp, and then we saw Magic Johnson as soon as he fell down. I remember you and I were both watching that game, and we just held our breath as soon as he went down. But obviously, just from one game, you could tell he's going to make a huge improvement from that year. Had 27 points in that game. I think he'll probably be, if not the leading scorer, maybe the second leading scorer on the Lakers this year. A team that's going to look for big-time scores. I think that Ingram and Ball connection, Lonzo Ball connection, will be a lot of fun to watch on a growing Lakers team. So yeah, I really enjoyed watching Ingram play, and I definitely see him making a vast improvement in his second year. What about you, Connor? Who do you think is a big second-year player that'll break out this year?
Jaylen Brown had a few very good games with the Celtics early on. Him and Jason Tatum had that 7-11 duo going because they're open all night. He had improvement with his jump shot. Even coming out of Cal, the only really bad things about Jaylen Brown was people were saying he cannot shoot. His only thing was his athleticism, and that's what was making him a lottery pick. Which he still has that athleticism, but he's slowly adding that jump shot, adding defense, and improving on what he was already good at to make his team better. And the Celtics, they could really use some more role players. They need as much as they can out of those smaller guys to be able to make it as far as they can in the Eastern playoffs.
So, do y'all think that Chris Dunn will be a good starter for the Bulls next year, or is he still gonna be a nobody?
I think with the Bulls roster, there's no way he's not getting a significant amount of playing time next year. They lost Rondo, he went to the Pelicans, which I like that team. They lost Michael Carter-Williams, he went to the Hornets. They've lost all of their starters pretty much, except for a few like Nikola Mirotic. So I think they're going to give Chris Dunn a huge role with that offense. He showed he can play defense last year. He just has to get his playmaking, and maybe they'll give him some plays to try and make his own shot and score how he can for that team.
All right, boys. Well, I think that's gonna wrap up our video about the Summer League. If y'all have any comments, I mean, go ahead and drop it on there. We don't bite. I'd love to take some time and try to reply, even though I don't know anything close to how much Nick and Connor know about basketball. But I do like talking about it and learning. So if you want to drop a comment, drop a like, it's always wonderful. View the video, share it with your family, share it with your friends. That'd be fantastic. Y'all have a great night, and thank you for tuning in to LMB.